Hello! Hi! Hi Toasty, hi Ivory! If my internet is working better? Better than what? Better than whose? Is this a day of broken internet? Hello everybody, welcome to a Sunday stream. We'll be playing more Final Fantasy, even though I said the wrong category, but that's fine. Also, I didn't change the title. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me today? Let me fix that, because that's silly. How'd they do that? Chris! We play Fantastic Final? We will play Fantastic Final. Even though I am freaking chaotic and I forgot to change the title, but that's fine. Who cares? Change it. Forgot to change the title, forgot to change the category. This is whatever. Get out, Foogie. It's a whole national-wide IPS crisis right now. I was trying to watch Meta a moment ago and her connection is so bad her FPS is hitting negative numbers and traveling backwards in time. Jesus! That's so weird. I haven't noticed anything strange today. Maybe I'm lucky. Proton! Hi! How are you doing? Hello. Oh goodness. I'm such a mess. Let me fix this. This double is bad because she's in the really cute outfit. Oh no! That's so sad. Oh no. And then let's let me make sure that everything is working on the YouTube side, because I just tried changing something and I got some weird notification. Yeah, it should be okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're good. This is the first time I've done this, I think. You know, just forgetting to change the title and the category before streaming. Jesus Christ, I just had massive issues with internet earlier today, to the point I was worried if I might not have internet for a while. Oh no. But I'm glad it's better now, but gee, what the frick? That's so evil. Internet, what are you doing? What a weird day. The month decided that it's not over yet. I will make sure you all remember that it's November still. Oh my god. Hold on, let me just send out notifications and I am ready to start. I started a bit later than usual. Had to go out with dog goblin cleanup. No Final Fantasy. I forgot to change the category. I mean, if it's still showing up for you, you might have to refresh, but it should be okay now. Unless... What the fuck? Did it... What? Did it update to Goblin Cleanup again? What the fuck? Okay, now it's Final Fantasy. What the what in the hell? Why they had to change it twice? I don't understand anything. It's crazy. Jesus. Twitch, get your shit together. I know it's a Sunday and all, but we are trying to do things here. Maybe not very good things, maybe not very productive things, but still things. Yeah. Yeah. I must put myself in the other corner. In the other corner! I'm in the wrong corner! The wrong corner. My head! It's disconnected. It's detached from my body. How did that happen? Okay. Everything will be good. I hope. This game time. But dear God, as I said, I wasn't really planning streaming today. I even said so yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna stream. I'm just gonna take it off. But some things came up, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, whatever. We're playing game. We're playing game instead. God, I hope it's not too loud. I forgot what setting I had last time. I'm sorry. Level 31, level 32. Hi Dory! How was your evening? Question mark? Oh, right, I forgot we got here to the village of the Dark Knights. And I was doing something. You have reached the village of Falgabard, where those who seek to master the arts of the Dark Blade come to train. Hold on. Why am I blue? Why am I worse? I want to be grey-purple like you. A dark blade can only be wielded by those who what? I can't read. Who has overcome the fear within their own soul. Dark Knights are the only ones who can use them. I see. Afternoon at my end, productive Sunday. Ooh. What are you doing on this Sunday of yours? I cleaned up my place. And now I'm tired. That was the extent of my Sunday. You know, it's still good enough. But yeah. We have all of these. I thought English grammar? The most traumatic experience? Oh no, I'm so sorry. I remember I bought a book for English grammar. Ashura! And then I never opened it. I don't even remember the context. Wait, do I not have any blade for my Dark Knight? No! I don't want to buy that, but I mean, might as well. Prepared for the work week, dishes, trimmed my dog's claws, and all the unusual maintenance. That's good! Man, cutting dog's claws is always so... Just feels like pain every single time. I learned about the hyphenation rules for compound adjectives and the concept that in some cases hyphenated adjectives unhyphenate. Oh my god. This is a lot. English is a language. I have always wished to see the legendary blade known as a Masamune, but no one knows where it is hidden. Some monsters will divide and multiply if you attack them with conventional weapons. The fuck? I thought I heard knocking. What the heck? Some monsters will divide and multiply if you attack them with conventional weapons. Best to take a dark blade with you. What? You mean if a dark knight attacks then they cannot multiply? Why did I not know that? Why is that such a specific thing? Only those proficient with dark blades have a chance at surviving in the Cave of Shadows. Many have gone north of Amur to train. None have returned. English is just built different incorrectly, exactly. Long before our time, there was a class of warrior trained to use any weapon, including blades holy and accursed. They called themselves ninja. Nothing but Dark Blade can defeat the monsters in the cave. You should give up now. What? You really just think it's gonna be that easy? You just tell me to give up? If it makes you feel better, a lot of English speakers don't know how to use hyphenation properly. Oh god. Let me in! I don't believe there's no way in. I mean, this patch of grass, it looks like a prime location for an item. Suspicious. I didn't even blame them. Yeah, me neither. It all just seems so complicated. I didn't mean to leave! Tomorrow I start a new job? Oh! What job? What job are you starting, Chris? Hey old man, help me. I'm trying to find it. Cleaning duty in a university? Oh. How did you end up in that position? Get out! Get out, sir! Get the fuck out! I am tired of working with guns. I don't really have other specializations. Fair. Fair. I don't really blame you. Wait, did I go in here? Oh, I did. Never mind. I thought it was like just a random house. These should be marked somehow. I used to work at an university. It was a traumatic experience for the student and for me. Valgabart Cave. And this job is also paid by the state, so it's good pay even though it's not much hours. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Makes sense. Gap! Gap, why do you have a sword? What the heck? What are these? These look like... I don't know even. Blade Blitz. Mama! Ooh. Bonk them. Ah! Wow. I mean, that's nice and all, but I mean, they still multiplied. So I don't know. Hey, what the heck? Which one of them thundered me? Nice. And extra hours are paid 25 or 28 more depending on the day. If they have the blade, you can have a Chris. I know what I'm saying. I'm making sounds. Thorian Hammer! Wow! If only this was something I needed. The game was like, yay! You have visited a cave for a Black Knight. It would be nice if this actually gave you something for a Black Knight. Black Knight, Dark Knight. Whatever the fuck. Can I say something? You can? Something? Wow. That's deep. How can you be so... What's the word? Oh my god, my Dark Knight. What the fuck? Hard bath. Hi. My Dark Knight has disappeared into nothingness. Can I plug in AV cables behind you? What do you want to plug in? I have a bad new joke. I'm scared. What's the joke? The Dark Knight looks like a dead bird. Kotetsu Ashura. Wait, didn't I just buy that? I did. Oh, wait, fuck. Well. Oh well. Anyway. Do you know why drivers from Poland always start in front of every race? Is oh my god. Mama. Ooh. It's been how many days since I've played this? 5? I feel like I've been out for a very long time. I look like that green one? Hi Dave, what are you talking about? This fucking sucks. Oh man. It does suck. Lot. Demon mail. Why did I buy that? Doki, hi! How are you? How was your stream yesterday? I'm sorry I couldn't join. Oh god. Oh my god. My godness. Being hurted. Really badly. Use this. Or maybe not. Hell, use this. Enjoyed what you were doing too. Did you clean the RES up? We did, yeah! It was a lot of cleaning. And the game has such big maps too. I did not expect that. So, you know, we were just chilling and then suddenly it's like, oh, there's another floor. It's just woof. I was losing my mind over that. She was something. Drunk karaoke, but it was good. Nice, nice. No, Eve! Who are these fucks? God damn it. I can't even raise her. The big map thing is a common issue with these older RPGs. It isn't even that bad about. No, I mean, I mean the Goblin cleanup we played yesterday. It was, you know, it was missions on different maps, but they were just so big. Like, I don't know. I was thinking it would be like comparable in the beginning to something like. Oh, there's nothing here. This is just. This is a waste of time. To like, I don't know, House Flipper. So, what is that place? Just... Is that just for farming? I'm confused. There was not much in there. All they did is annoy me. You should see some Extreme Outlaws games of the era. I'm scared. You mean Shin Megami Tensei? Over here. This is what I wanted to do. No! 600! What the fuck? I didn't mean to say yes. I didn't realize I pressed enter. Okay, I need to find 5 items. Where are they? Hey. Wait. Wait. What? How do you get there? There needs to be... What? There has to be a way over here somewhere. Confused. Let me down. Enchant to say my beloved. Do I have that on the list? I don't remember. How do I get down there? Screw it. What's the name of this? Falga board. Falga board, tell me. What is your secret? Falga board. Falga bob. Wait, what? Wait. Apparently I'm stupid. Hold on. You're striking? Wow. Hi Sus, how are you? You... What? When you're done doing what you need to do in town, head to the north and seek out a waterfall. Walk towards it to pass through it into an area beyond. What? But, like... There's shit on the way. Oh, seriously? The one... Ah! The one path I didn't check is the fucking entrance. Don't lose my mind. I'm good. Hey, you're good. I'm glad. I'm also okay. I'm also fine. I cleaned up today and made some decisions about what the heck I'm gonna do with my accounts, because as you guys may or may not know, I do have separate accounts for my like VTubing and for my art, and it's not really doing me any favors at this point. So I'm gonna be putting everything into this one account, and I'm just going to be like reblogging, retweeting stuff to the art accounts to have them as an archive. But generally speaking, it's been a mess trying to figure this out, because I like both names and I didn't really want to delete any of them, but it's like, how do I make all of them work? So it's been a mess. I've been thinking about it a lot. But yeah, here we are. I'm finally doing something about them, finally making some decisions. I'm kinda dying. Strong before you're dying! I seek one who is worthy of the Kiku Ichimonji. Will you be the ones who come out victorious? Ah, you are a ninja! But I don't have a ninja in my party. God damn it. Certified gaming moment of time? Oh god. I sure do, but yeah. Fart attack! The fuck is this team with a ninja turtle? I wish I do. We're exploding him. Heal Eve. A nauseous 8-color cheese, probably bad. Oh no! I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't last too long. I'm pacifist, I will not attack. Okay. Well fought. The Kiku Ichimonji blade is yours. Wow, I don't even have a ninja. I told you that. I'm more sorry, but thanks. I potion, demon mail, I already have one. Why would you give me two of them? Well, there we go, all items. Wait, Kikuenjimonji is for Dark Knight. Never mind, I'm stupid. So I had no reason to even... Well, use the shield. I had no reason to even get any of these weapons. I don't have to buy them. Oh well. Drunk before you die, can I sit in your body, harvest the final fleeting remnants of life? No! Don't die! I have to sell the Ashura 1 and 2. Final fun day? No more fun days after this? No more fun days after this. After this is December. You know what that means. Hi Decibels, how are you doing? Yeah, December. December. Also, apparently there's more over here and I'm just stupid. Is there more? What am I stupid for thinking so? No, never mind, there's nothing here, I'm stupid. Wait, hold on. Cave of the Shadows, what the fuck is it? Is it really more? Am I stupid? Am I not seeing something? There's supposed to be... There's supposed to be more areas. I don't see them. Wait. Wait. Oh, okay, I'm stupid. It's not in here, but it's next to this place. Apparently. That's what the guide says. Get out of my way. Get out of my way, I'm busy. Doing fine, hope things are good. Things are good, yeah, thank you. Back on the ship. All aboard. They told me to go south? Question mark? Am I stupid? Again? Eastern. Okay, no. Pew. Did you know that this ship can jump in the air? Only very special ships can jump in the air. Can I eat bread? Let me eat the bread. There's something I haven't seen here, and something I haven't seen here, and something I haven't seen here, and something I haven't seen here. Oh, you haven't been here yet. But yeah, there's something here and over here. Hold on, I'm just making a screenshot of this. Fuck this. We must find all the chocobo forests. Hello, okay, goodbye. I've been here either? What the heck? How have I been looking around? Missing out all of these. Okay, goodbye. Oh, Jesus. I don't know why I made that sound. It's not like anything bad would have happened. What is over there? Come on, come on, come on. Wait, there's a chocobo forest over here too? What's wrong with me? How have I not seen this? Ah. Not good. Guys, just take care of them. I'm too lazy to really care. To really do anything about this. All aboard! You know what? I'm just thinking, why did I use the inn when I can sleep in the on the ship? You're probably wondering what's wrong with me. What the fuck is this? Not over there, over there. Over here. I don't know what I'm saying. This airship kinda sucks. It does. This map kinda sucks. Who came up with this? What? Oh, Jesus. I forgot there are air enemies. The artillery? This ship has artillery? You guys are attacking the wrong creature. And I know it's my fault, but I refuse to do anything about it. What? This is stupid. Who came up with this puzzle? Oh my god, I'm here. Now we're gonna go take a nap. My ship. This is like Daggerfall. You get your own ship. We fell. We fell out. It's time. Eh? Hello? I have come here from Falgabar to further my training. Be careful of the monsters in this cave. They multiply when attacked with normal swords. Oh my god. Fuck off. This is Cave of Shadows. What was that cave in the town? That night is big. Clearly a female? Yeah. Do they want me to have more nights? I don't think I should. Why are you dividing the cave? You know what game has a nice airship? Dread Delusion. That game is amazing in general though. I don't know that game. You guys are giving me more games. Wow. Who would have thought? I can't type. Type? Right, I mean, Jesus. There's always more games as it turns out. No! The chest contains Lamia scale! Wow. My god. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow meow. Meow meow. Stop attacking us. We are squishy. Damn it. Murder. Mama, 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 mama. Fuck it, I'm changing. You're unlucky, but you know what? It's fine. I wonder if we can grind XP by forcing the enemies to multiply? Maybe? Who knows? No, I didn't mean to. Whoops. One eight 180? 1080? Can't read. Can't think. I'm not even using the right attack. What am I doing? Blade Blitz, everybody! Thundera! What? You missed? What do you mean? Guys, we're doing terribly! What the heck is happening? Oh god, why? Why are they all attacking one guy? I have regrets. Let's use Phoenix down. Oh, what? Another one? Just contains Bacchus cider something. No. Sarah, you're right. I thought I had mastered the Dark Blade. I was wrong. But perhaps it was fate that brought us together. Here, take the sword. Wow, thank you! Oh my god, disappeared. This was a ghost. I will hydrate Saru. Thank you. Dark Blades drink blood. You can drink water. What? What? What is this? So how goes the fantasying? It's fantasying somehow. It's doing something. I don't know what to tell you. Other than stop attacking my healer! Oh my god. I know what you guys are gonna tell me. Hey, you should probably head out and farm a little bit. No. No. Never. We die like men. If it means you can kill it? Exactly. We will farm over here for a bit. For a bit, and then we will get the fuck out. Oh, I forgot. You're still dead. Oops. Unless it's Odin. No! Don't order me! You want my actual opinion on this? Cheat codes? No. No. I would, but no. Kuraga. Come on! I swear to God. I swear to God. Getting out. Getting the fuck out of here. Why do I not have cool magical water on my ship? Hmm? Plain. Well, I can buy more of these, so that's fine, I guess. So, wait, I don't know why I did that actually, since I wanted to go to bed anyway. What level am I supposed to be here? Oh god. I am level 33. And I remember that the Odin was recommended minimum 36? Question mark? So I still need to do stuff. Why are they so powerful? Why do they hit so much? So much? Well, not what I meant to say, but you get the idea. Ah! That hurted. That hurted. That hurted a lot. Why do you not want to attack me? Is it because this is not Pokemon and I cannot get more enemies when I'm running around? Nice. I need to remember to save, because only one time I will die and then I realize, oh my god, I'm like 5 levels behind. No other time has come. Not cheat codes, but I will just keep auto battling because I'm lazy. E. I need to stop doing that. I'm gonna give myself a headache. I'm just letting my head around. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? Oh, one of them is dead. I forgot to heal. Oh no. Ripperoni. And pepperoni. Hi Schroner, how are you doing? Magic. Oops. 8, hi. So how are you guys doing on this cool ass Sunday? It's a Sunday and we are playing Pain and Suffering. I say that, but it's not that bad, honestly. What the fuck do you mean he's already dead? God. I mean... What? I just raised him! Is it for real? You're doing okay? I'm glad to hear that. Oh my god. So as you can see, what I'm doing is doing a little bit of farming while we are just trying to, well, I don't want to say a while because that's not really true. I'm just walking around the entrance, but I was trying to get through this cave, and then at like the 3rd enemy group I realized that it won't be this as easy as I thought it would be. As it should be. As it could be. I don't know what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm having a really good time with the game. Although I feel like, I don't know, it feels like I've been like going really fast at this game. I don't know why. Do we not have a demon? We don't. Oh, because you don't have anything. You have both. Okay, what we're gonna do is this way. You get a shield, and you get the Kotetsu. Because we need to divide the equipment between you somehow. But yeah, I'm going... This game is not really taking me all that long, but I think it's just because I've been playing just very often. When I played FF1 on stream, it took me like half a year because I was I was very slow. But at the same time, I wasn't really playing a lot often, and then the longest part of these games is grinding. Yeah. See, the thing about the 1 and 2 is that you don't really have to grind all that much. Oh god, well. With this one, it's a bit different because I guess they decided, you know what, this is fine, this game wasn't that bad at all, and they just figured that this is fine, you can grind, you just have to deal with that. So yeah, I'm pressing the wrong button. Until you can attack yourself, which is super passive. Grinding is one of the few things that stops me from getting into most RPGs. Yeah, me too. That's why I'm playing the pixel remasters. Although I think it doesn't really change much with this particular one. Because as I said, it seems like doesn't really change much in terms of experience progression. Hi Dale! Oh my goodness, look, so many old names coming to say hi today. Hi. I guess it's my fault. I don't really stream on Sunday anymore. But yeah, happy to see you guys. How are you doing? Are you guys happy to say hi to another December? Or would you prefer to not have Christmas yet? Because yeah, it's time to just brace for the impact of all of the Christmas songs and all of the ads and stuff. I know it's already underway, but doesn't change the fact that it will only get worse. And I am scared. Christmas songs. Yeah. Why did you kill somebody? It's that 1,000 yards stare into the distance of another Disco edition of Jingle Bells plays the head. What the fuck? Haven't dropped by in a long while. I haven't been able to drive into stream for a while due to work. It's okay, don't worry about it. No bad feelings. No hard feelings, I mean. You have to do what you have to do, it's okay. I'm really lucky at avoiding Christmas music. Soft feelings, yes. Oh! What? I pressed Q by accident. I wasn't ready yet. No, they're gonna multiply now. Fuck. Whatever. Let's see what happens. We need to deal with the consequences. I mean, I have to deal with the consequences. You guys don't need anything. Don't need to do anything. Bonk bonk. Thunder! Okay, that wasn't too bad. It's taking so long! Farming, I mean. I hate that. But yeah, while we are at this, I do have to confirm that with the next Final Fantasy, when I get to 4, I will actually just I would use the SNES version, not the Pixel Remaster, cause it's fine. It's not really all that bad at that point. I can deal with it. You know, if I really wanted to be stopborn, I could just play 1 to 3 on the NES too. But yeah, I just knew that the first game had a lot of grinding and I wasn't sure about the rest. And you know, my decision was kinda stuck at just trying to get through these ones. What? Because I don't know why I didn't really consider going like doing 2 or 3, like playing the original versions of 2 or 3. I just knew at the beginning that I want to skip 1, just want to get the Pixel Remaster, and I guess I just, because it was a comfortable play, that I just kind of went ahead with the second one as well, in that fashion. But yeah, guess what? I finally got my driver's license. Congratulations! Congratulations! Yes, just one congratulation. Would you like more? Do you need more congratulations? Hell yeah! Anyway, I have got into a tangent. One is enough. Hi, Kaiser! Congrats to the bitter life that is adulthood. Kendrick, hi! Congrats! Hell yeah! We all like congrats. Let's see, who wins at being a rat today? 86. Okay, that's pretty good. Who can beat me? Ah, Eve! I'm sorry, Saru. You are unlucky. Wow. Why did... Dale has more? Why did the bot ignore fart? What happened? Oh. I think the bot doesn't like you today. The long spoon, yes. Dale is the superior rat. For now. You can still be beaten. Oh god. 2%? I'm so sorry. 2! You know what? On one hand, you should be happy you're not very wrapped. But You are the one who brought the rats here, so I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It's actually a mouse in a rat costume. Oh god. What? Back attack? $76. Glitter has 69 health! Rat percentage twin. My rat twins! The Pied Piper is not a rat. Not indeed. It's sad. We should make a different command. Ratness is fun, but like... I don't remember why I was a rat in the first place. I made that command 2 years ago. I don't remember the reasons. No. Phew. We're still not done. I'm probably gonna like farm one level and then be like, okay, I'm done. Goodbye. Nor. How much more? Why is this place so shit for farming XP? Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I should be farming here. Maybe the underwater place was better. Oh fuck. Get the fuck out. Mama. Ooh. Mama, we're leaving. That was terrible. This cave sucks ass. Remember that underwater one? I feel like that one was better, but might be my imagination because that was a long time ago. Maybe it will turn out that it's been all... my memory's been wrong all this time. And at this level it won't make a difference. Ah! Fuck. From the way! So stream is now turning the random gremlin noises? This is what the game we played yesterday did to me. Let me out of this mess. Ah. Please. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to break free. What? Oh. Where am I stuck? What the fuck's happening? This place is cursed. I'm pretty sure we're always like this. Oops. Why? Let me out. I want to know who came up with the idea of funny mountain jumping puzzle. Because this sucks. Wait! I'm stupid! This thing cannot go underwater! Did my underwater ship stay underwater? Oh no. This is sad. Did you lose a whole ship? No, I mean... We were... going... over there, I think? To... the... ancient ruins to get this one, and... I think it replaced the other one? I might be wrong, but... I think that's what happened. Let me in there. Well, I can get in here. Even though I don't know if I should be here. But I can be here. So we will see. Bahamut's lair! Oh, I shouldn't be here. Heavenly Wrath. Drake? Oh, these hit. These be strong. But this is a better place to farm. This is a better place to farm. Although, I need to be careful. Also, jobs switch out back to the night. Because, and actually, you, what were you before? Black belt? I believe. Because you guys were better this way, and it probably will help a little bit, at least. I think. I might not think a lot, but I think sometimes. What is this? No. Why do they hit so? Why are they hit so strong? Everyone is in pain. At least we're level 34. Oh god, that hurt. Why? Eroga. Whoa, that was strong. For a wide mage? Phoenix down. Arctic wind. Not like I need this, but thank you. Shouldn't be going that way, actually. Stupid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Before I do that. At least I found a better way to farm my experience. I think my Black belt isn't really all that good anymore. I have a tiny feeling. I have a tiny feeling. Also, these bombs, they seem to have a random amount of health, which is weird. Do all of the enemies in this game have a random amount of health? Like, from between a range or something? Because I have no clue. Whee! Scoop high. No? Hmm. Sleep. Artie is well rested. Good. Because now we're gonna go suffer. Ah. Guys are getting better.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing? Ooh. Chess. These are different. These are different. Are these worse? Maybe not. Wait, I think the ones on the first floor gave me like 3,000 experience? I might be wrong. But hi, how are you doing? All them stuff. Ah. A good stream. Fortune fall upon you. Thank you, Mother Lark. I'm your scale. Turtle. Chocobo. Turtle. This place is a lot better for farming experience. I don't know what I was thinking. But at the same time, how was I supposed to know that the other place would be so shit? What the fuck is a black mask? Causes instant KO. Oh. Heavily wrath. Intense lightning damage. Oh, wait, never mind. I just realized you're using the wrong shield again. I mean, you're not even using any shield in the first place. Elixir! The voice of Bahamut thunders from outside the cave. Test yourselves in battle. I didn't mean to go. No. I didn't mean to. I'm not ready to fight you. I'm just doing stupid shit here. What the fuck? 1,000? Okay, don't worry, it's just Bahamut. How can it be? Oh god. One thing I like is that you cannot waste a healing spell. Because, I mean, outside of battle, in battle I guess you can still do that. But outside of battle, it won't let you actually use that if your character has full health. So that's nice. Greater Boros. But I mean, instead of Ouroboros is Ouroboros? die Ouroboros? No, all Ouroboros will be King Ouroboros. Either way. Bahamut, stop thundering me. Whee! What will happen? Fired at him. It will surely work, I believe. That was a terrible attack. Thunder! Attack, and you need to heal. Not really everybody. Or Boros. Infinite Boros. Uh-oh. Right. That can happen. I did not consider. Terrible magic attack. The buy one get one 50% off for us. Oh god. No, I just healed that. What are you doing? Oh, we're dead. Goodbye. But, I mean, you know, considering I wasn't ready for this, it still wasn't that bad. What? How dare you? God damn it. Eve! Don't give up! We will fix you! Does that mean that I can now go attack Odin? Wait! I need to find the fucking ship! How am I supposed to attack Odin when my swimming ship is gone? It's a real problem. What if... What if it's on purpose? Maybe I fucked it up. And I don't even know. What if I can't fight Auden now? Well, some of those games are not gonna die, but I hope so. But I thought I used that ship to get to the underground temple. But I might be wrong. I don't know anymore. Okay, one more. I'm getting out of here. Oh. Never mind. Not one more. God. Oh my god! That wasn't enough! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Heal. Oh, also, today is the last day of the what's it called? Discount for the subs. So if anyone would like to sub to, well, maybe grant some people a sub skip then. A sub skip, an ad skip, that would be a good time. What am I saying? I need to find a fucking ship. What is this ship called, by the way? Is it invincible? Wait, I'm stupid. No, this is not where. Oh, okay. Ancient ruins were not underground. I'm stupid. I just misunderstood. Misremembered. They were in some marsh. What the fuck was it though? It's over here! I found it! I found him! I found my ship! My child, we're back! Phew. Oh my god. Ba-dum. We're coming for the Odin. I feel like I've been here 300 years ago. Eva's too strong. Guys, it's time. It's time one more time. It is a foolish mortal indeed who dares disturb my slumber. Odin attacks. We'll get him this time. Don't tell that to Eve though, it'll get to her head. I know. That was a terrible attack. I should have let him be the freaking... black belt. Oh well. Too late now. What? How do you miss protect? Wait, I used race? What's wrong with me? Okay, out of fire. Need to do some nice healing here. Ah, shit. That was not nice healing. That was terrible healing even. God damn it! Yeah, kill us! I need to change the class, the job of Shrek. I forgot we have Shrek in the party. Also, watch this be even worse. Boost yourself. No. Protect. Jesus. You continue doing what you're doing. You too. You the last boost. And now... you need to heal everybody. Self-destruct! What the fuck? Okay, well, lesson for today. You can only boost twice. I didn't know that. You have to... you're better. Nice. Oh no. Attack, attack. You have to cure everybody. And quickly. Oh, thank God. Aha! Well... Does the boost only work for one attack? I thought it was... I thought it was stronger. Oh no. Well. I'm EP. Good night. Good night, Ivory. Thanks for hanging out. Sleep well. No, why him? Swear to God. Fart attack! Stop it! Guys, I know you are commending me, but I need to do it again. Oh no, actually, you know what? No, I don't have to. I was like, I need to do it again because two of them did not get experience, but you know what? Whatever, fuck that. That wasn't even that much experience. My strength is yours to command, warriors of light. Obtain the summoned magic catastrophe. What the fuck? Oh! That's how this works. I thought it would be different, to be honest. Wait, who raised them? You're not dead anymore. How have you imagined it? I don't know, I always thought we would get a sword. Shrek is good again. I don't know what happened to him before. But he's good. Ah! Come on. It's time to go back. All aboard! I want you to become... Wait. Evoker? I guess I don't have summoner yet. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? You know what? Let me go up again. Let me go to the Bahamut cave again. Actually, there's one more thing I'm curious about. Hold on. Because I'm not sure if I tried that before. Are there any underwater caves above? Also, I'm stupid. I just realized that the other ship has been marked with a blue dot on the map all this time. Oh man. So why is this ship just faster? It's stupid. Oh, never mind, you can't. That's sad. Scam! Next build. Kalish, hello! How are you doing? To the... Actually, you know what? I never walked around this desert. I feel like there's nothing here, but you know. Why is this desert here in the first place? I've been here for an hour, but didn't have anything to say. It's okay. Oh, there's nothing here indeed. Oh my god. No experience whatsoever. Fine, Bahamut Cave, help me. I want to attack two things, and I want to get a higher level for my healer and my... Snake and Laura hug! Oh my god. With tears? Oh my god. Hold on, let me get off this stupid thing because it's making so much noise. Laura, good oh my god! Hey! The beige walking monster, or it's at high speed, makes it look like a smiling face character. Oh my god. This is the end of chapter 1? Oh my goodness. Are you writing a fanfic? Look at this beautiful neck. Well, I told you I'll put the pictures together and I'll make a comic. Oh my god. This looks like an alien. What am I doing? I am single-handedly the reason why... Yes, you are. That fucking leg. Hope you guys enjoy my beautiful art. There you go. You happy? The day I won't be able to afford MS Paint is the day I'll start to ban actions to stream again. On stream again. MS Paint costs money? No, it's just points. Here, I even make the tears blue. This is terrible. Laura turned into a creature. Oh, wait. Oh yeah. I was like, why am I here? Next character also... What? Professor Oak? What the fuck? What is that story? Like a snake on a lure? God. What world do you live in? I have money to finally afford the level 7 of spells. Can you believe that Asuna is level 7? Who the fuck came up with this? Absorbs life, inflicts petrification. Magic reflecting barrier. Ooh. Fuck off. Here we go. And Ape will punch him in the face. Yeah, that sounds like Ape. Where? Seahorse is attacking me! Mama. Over here to get those... What's it called? Get the experience from the 2 creatures. I like how weird monsters in this game. Yeah, there's something else. Faster. We need to get the healer and the mag mage to a high level, and then... What is this? And then we're gonna go back to the other place. To actually, you know, make some normal progress. Glitter is still missing a bit. So 1 or 2 more, probably. My god. Oh, never mind. You're good. So, well, the other 2 are also pretty close, so we can just do that as well. This gave me a... How many levels did I do? 4? Oh my god, 1 more. And then we can go back to the freaking cave of darkness. There we go. Are we level 38? A level 38. Need to get back to the other ship now. Because this ship cannot jump. This is... Wait, hold on. Okay, never mind. Oops. The game for some reason was showing me both controls and I was confused. God damn it. It is me. One more time. Going for this stupid thing. Jumping mountains. You ever seen anything this stupid? I wonder how. I'm really curious now. How did this look like on NES? I need to find a long play video. I mean, kinda makes sense. I mean, in a way, I suppose. Do you know what else is weird? I'm scared, but tell me. Well, I mean, I cannot argue with that. Finally! They're good. Since they're tall mountains, and not all airplanes can climb well to high heights. Yeah, but why can't we only like climb up for a little bit? Chocobons. One more time, we go in here. How about I change my glass to the dark fucking night? Oh my god. How much experience that give me? I didn't look. Dark Knight. Yes. And you might also be a Dark Knight. But you will use a shield. Because you know what? If I was smart about this, I would have gotten him more equipment, but I didn't think of that, so oh well. Probably gonna find something in here anyway. Did you? Ah, fuck. Hey. Maybe I won't be suffering so much here. I say, not really believing that. I'm gonna take a blanket, hold on. Sorry, the blanket is possessing me. Ooh. Hellish horse! There is a horse. That horse has too many legs. I'm not being very, perceptive here, but oh well. The fuck is this? Tranquilizer. Wow. Maybe I should use Blade Blitz. But at the same time, it might not even matter. It doesn't even matter! How would you feel if you were attacked in a dark corridor by a weird horse with 6 legs and breathing fire? This kiss! The fuck is that? Absorbs life. Well, I guess that makes sense. No. Understandable, however you didn't consider an important detail. I'm scared. What detail? Up and high! Krzeklarz. Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh. I was confused about why did I... Oh, what the fuck is this? I don't like this. What in the hell? What in the helly? Oh god. The time has come where I do auto attacks because I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Nice dungeon design. One way forward. Yeah, it's very yes, it's very clear. You know, I'm glad I did get some more levels. Because Jesus Christ. I would have never made it through here. No! Fuck. Gregos just died. How do you feel about that? Genji gloves. Can you wear them? You can. Wow. Okay, are those better? No! Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Whee! Ooh. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck the shield. Ah, god damn it. Nice bones. God damn it, the horse is back. They've leveled up, leveled up first again. Typical. Oh my god! What? Well. Oh my god. What the hell? I hate this. What is this? Oh, we need healing. Oops. You know what? I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm in this cave to begin with. I just know they told me I can go in here, but why? What was I supposed to find here? I don't remember. I forgot to change the black mage's spell. Oop. Kikuichimonji! You can have 2 Kikuichimonjis. Wait. Oh. Oh well. You need to use a different spell. This is actually, you know, manageable now. Wait, why do they have not translate names of weapons? They have translated only some of them. As for this one, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really mean anything. Oh, fuck. Deception! Oh god. What? I know I'm like repeating myself constantly, but... this freaking cave, man! Okay. Genji shield. Well, that's a better shield. It prevents petrification, poison, and the wielder turning into a toad. Well, that's nice, but right now we just need attack. Ah! Only 2? No, I entered the wrong one. They did it on purpose. They made these long ass corridors so you have to walk more and get fight more enemies. Evil. Wow, it actually does go to... What? How many circles of hell are there? Are there in here? You know, usually, the long dungeons aren't bad, but like it can get a little bit annoying when you have to fight the same bunch of enemies over and over again, and okay, there's no more paths here, and you run out of spells. And it's like, fuck, I need to waste my elixirs. Oh? Tooth! Oh, is that why I was supposed to come here? For a tooth? Wow, look at this. That's so evil. Evil toot? Evil toot! No, evil path. The tooth is good. I think, I don't know. It works better in video games than tabletop RPGs. That's why... Oh. Random enemies there. Shannon, need to suck up your resources. Yeah. A resource. Medieval Belders Toots. A toots. These video games, combat takes 30 seconds and TTRPGs for around can take 30 minutes. It's endless. I feel like 30 minutes is... if you're lucky. Look at the tooth. Golden tooth. Oh, we ran out of spells again. Bong bong bong. Finding 100 zombies sounds fun up until the 3rd hour. Oh my god. Not this. What am I doing? Magic. It's the funk of Earth! Who was it that broke the seal and released me from my slumber? Something attacks the party! Woo! What is this? Who the fuck is this? Hekaton chair? What? Who? Whomst? Here. I'm gonna quake you. You can also quake? What the fuck? Oh my god, you started making the comic. Oh god. I saw. I'm gonna I'm gonna take a look at it in a minute. Oh god. That was easy. Huh. And only 2000 XP per character? What the fuck? The funk of Earth! Earth! Funk of Earth! Come on, let's go back to the manor. Daga and Une are waiting for us. What manor? What manor? I don't remember. He didn't die for that, what do you mean? Out! Sewers. Wait, I didn't open all chests in the sewers? What kind of sewers? I'm confused. What sewers? There. Which means we have to go back. Has it been secret? Probably. I don't remember that place at all, though. Oh my god, now getting out of here again. What a pain. At least it's the last time. What? Why would you get over it? I think the shadow is in the wrong spot. How did that happen? Ah! That's not really what I meant to do, but sure. We're almost out of here. Oh my god. Oh my god, I made out. Jesus. Did I not confirm? What's wrong with me? Let's go check those sewers. What sewers? Whee! I mean, there's Almore. Wait, there are sewers in here. Ah. What the fuck? I opened the door? Okay. Zoom. What is the secret? Ah. You do think you'll ever play retro racing games? I don't know. I'm not really all that much into racing games. To be honest, I don't even have any on my list because I like never really. The only racing game I like played a lot was Crash Team Racing. There's no cape. How does old Farge doing? Hey, liking it so far? I like it a lot. I wasn't sure in the beginning, but it's growing on me, so for sure. Well, I'm gonna try Mario Kart. There is indeed a bit. Not a bit, but there are two secret rooms that I have missed because I'm stupid. Wait, are they here? Yeah. Huh. It's more obvious on the NES version than here. Hammer! Orichalcum! Power Racers! Power Rangers! Hey, get out! Get out of my way! Thank you. I don't know where the mansion is. Your character has a search case on ping high? No! What mansion? Cave of the Circle? Goldor Manor? No, that's not it. Doga Manor. Oh, right out there. I'm stupid. God damn it, I have to go through. Swear to God. This ship cannot get there. It's not fast enough. Seriously. So silly. Yes, we will make you have to switch ships every now and then because of reasons. More birds! We are murdering birds. I forgot I'm not actually pressing the escape button. Welcome back, warriors. Une and I have been busy preparing for your arrival. Oh. Because the ship is just so fast. Leka's voice echoed down the hall. Make your way through the tunnel. You wait at the end. Oh my god. Seriously? Why are you testing me? Have I not done enough? What the fuck is this? Mama! Oh, Cyclops biting my arm. Why are they so strong? Very funky Cyclops? It is. Six chests, 2 items. Okay. Wait, what is this place called? Doga's Grotto. Okay. 20,000 gil. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I don't need money! I wish that was the case in real life. Ah. Maybe we should change rank back to black belt. Broski, hello! How are you? Classic Final Fantasy, yay! Well, somewhat classic. I mean, a remastered version, but still. No! Swear to God. No! What the fuck? Rick, why did you turn Eve into a frog? Who counts? Just didn't Endwalker? Dungeon with a friend? Okay, you like it? I need to unfrog. Would they only give me money here? I don't want money, I want equipment. Why are there so many doors? It's not my first rodeo, but Endwalker was awesome. Some parts were rushed, but I liked it. It's my favorite one, to be honest. I can't tell you why. It just is. Ogre. Dragoon's my main job and the one I played 14 through the first one. Same here. Bones. Bones. Yeah, and Walker and Shadowbringers and Heavensward. Yeah, and Walker and Heavensward were my favorite, definitely. Walker did a game where your best friend comes and saves you at the end. Oh gosh. Definitely. Yes. Oh. What the heck? I like Heavensward, Someone and Endwalker. Do you not like Shadowbringers? I assume you love Endwalker due to the amount of fun service 4 gets. No, I don't really care about fun service, to be honest. I just thought it was a very... I don't know, it was pretty grunter. And I don't know. I liked it. It was okay. But I'm a fan of Xenos, yeah, Calvus. This is a fun villain? Yeah! That too. Forgetting about the magic reflection, but I don't really use that much, to be honest. I haven't played the game much since I finished Endwalker. I played 2 updates and then I didn't continue. I still have not played oops. Used the wrong spell. Dawn Trail, and no idea when that will be. But yeah. I have 400,000. Yeah, that's why I haven't played it, because I've heard people who had mixed opinions about it. I didn't play it in the beginning because I was just a bit burnt out, and I was just too busy with real life stuff. But Periton. But then I've also heard that it wasn't great, so I was like, that's fine, I guess. That is true, yeah. Like, we wouldn't be satisfied with anything after such a good expansion, I suppose. Or, well, I know that some people did not like Endwalker all that much, but they did like Shadowbringers, and that also is difficult to top, so... Oh goddamn. You made it. You are about to complete the Eureka key. But first, you must defeat both Une and me in battle! That's right. Think you can handle us? What? Why do we have to fight you? Listen well. Long ago, mankind came into possession of weapons far too powerful for them to wield. They were sealed away in Eureka. But now they are necessary. In order to go to Eureka, you need the key. And to create this key, you need massive amounts of energy. Energy we can only produce in battle. No, Doga, Une, there has to be another way. We can't fight you. You are friends. Innocent fools. If you will not attack me, then I will take the initiative. Prepare yourself. Ah! What the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Oh no, an old man and an old lady. I'd be fine with Dawntre if it didn't have such bad writing or an annoying character that's on your face but also insanely shallow. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but yeah, those are the criticisms I've heard. Is Doga okay? I don't know. I am worried for this man. He looks a bit off. Yeah. I should have used Reflect instead of Protect, but that's fine. Explode the Doga. Dungeon theme was the theme of the Crystal Monarch's room. Yeah. Wait, did I not use Reflect? What happened? Jesus. Oh my god. What? Okay, Reflect is a shit spell. You cannot heal yourself. You cannot heal yourself through magic. Stoka is dead. We killed him. Oh no, please don't die, Doga! Next you will face me. Are you ready? No, they don't. We don't want to fight you. Now's not the time for chit-chat. Don't worry, even if our bodies perish, our spirits can't be destroyed. Now fight me! What the fuck? Okay. Even weirder than before, but sure. No, you cannot just protect yourself. What do you mean? Why such demonic forms? I wish to know too. Erase dispels beneficial magic. There we go. And you have to cure Shrek. Jesus Christ. Did that even work? I'm confused. No! Why the healer? Dead. Whee! Doga, Une! Now, the Eureka key is complete. Take it with you. Doga, no! Don't fret, my spirit will live on, no matter what state my body is in. It is up to you now. Go to Circus Tower. Beyond the statues. Zandewu is attempting to call the fourth darkness into this world. He must be stopped. You must get to Circus Tower to enter Eureka. Here, take this. It's a circus key. You'll need this to open the door to the tower. You're not alone. He'll continue to watch over you. Please, stop Zande. Une! This is so sad. Mama. Oh my god. Ow. So, is this the... I'm confused. but you know, I'm just confusing myself, to be honest. So will this be the end? If I go to that tower? I mean, I still have some stuff to do above the clouds, but I'm unsure. Let's go over here for now and see. What? Is that not where I was supposed to go? Question mark? Unless they mean I just cannot go using a ship. Ah, see. Wow. But I have to go back because I have to use my silly jumping airship. Oh god. Swear to god. A liger. A theme though. Theme. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. No. Okay. The air creatures are not drunk. Look at it, it's a tower. Fuck, stop. Stop attacking me, I'm just trying to look at the tower. Ow. Tower, it is real. I'm missing one chocobo forest. Where the fuck is it? Where is the chocobo forest? Chocobo? Let me eat the bread. It only shows me the 3. Wait. I'm confused. Can I, like, just fly inside? Oh, Grzegorz. What if I did just... Oh, you can't fly in. Damn it. Hey, I didn't mean to. Pew. At any rate, I still need to do some stuff above. I'm pretty sure if I enter this this tower, it will be the end dungeon, the end game. So might as well just go above first because I still need to fight Leviathan and Bahamut and probably more. I'm not sure. Leviathan, Leviathan. Let's go see Leviathan. Wait. Not through here. Oh. Stupid, apparently. You can do this as well. It's a dungeon. There's one thing I'm wondering. Oh. Oh. Okay. Wait, can you still leave after entering that ancient maze? Oh. Okay, I see. You can apparently go back after doing the maze, but then you have to go it and go through it again, so doesn't make much sense. So I guess that will be for the last thing I'd do. So the last thing for today will be this dungeon. Maybe Behemoth too, but I don't know about that. Hell yeah. Wait, what level are we? 41 already? I thought we were like 38, 39. White musk? What the fuck is that? His shield, Lamia scale. A lot of silly items for a scholar. I'm not using scholar much. It's good, I think, but it's just light damage, I see. How many chests here? Did I say I need to stop waving my head? Why am I doing it again? What's wrong with me? Black hole? How do you find a black hole? Excuse me? What even is it? The fuck? Am I crazy? Creates a rift to another dimension. Oh. Look, what are the light beds? Sea lion! This is not even sea, we are on a lake. What? Under a lake, what are you talking about? Black musk. Crab. Sarah, do you like crabs? Let's kiss. Raven's yawn. The fuck are these items? Raise a tornado. Ooh. Okay, we're done with this. So I'm guessing the next thing is gonna be Leviathan. What the fuck? Leviathan. Whee! There he is. Why is he purple? Why is Leviathan purple? What if it was purple and just shut the fuck up? I am Leviathan. None but the chosen of light may borrow my power. Will you test your merit? Ah, look at him. It's a snake. Protect. Protect. Oh god. Oh. Who would have thought that attacking a creature of water with earth magic wouldn't really hurt much? Although, maybe it should. I don't know. Just trying to make some sense. But I'm not really. I'm not really doing a good job. Haste! Should I use thunder? Ooh. Ah, that makes sense. Oh, fuck. I should have expected that. You have to heal everybody and quickly. Oh Jesus, okay, fine, you can... It's okay. We can deal with that. Yeah! And above. Goodbye, God Leash! Good night! Thanks for hanging out! Accept my power as yours. Yay! Leviath. Leviath. Leveled 1, jump to level 99? Oh my god. Eve is level 99. Holy shit. Glitter is 90, so that's pretty close too. Stupid crab. Well, I didn't mean to do that, but you know, whatever. Fell back in! But admittedly, I did it on purpose. I just wanted Glitter to get a level 2. Glitter still didn't get a level, fuck. Are there more creatures besides Aladdin, Leviathan, and Behemoth? Behemoth? Bahamut, what the fuck am I saying? We already killed Behemoth. Oh my god. Okay, I think one more. And then we can leave. Okay, everyone is level 42. We can get out of here. But yeah, there's still Bahamut, and that's it, maybe? Question mark? What? Can I even do anything on this mountain still? You were... Wow. That's such pathetic experience. My goodness. Wait, wrong way, fuck. What the fuck? And now I have to get off? Oh my god. Can't believe this. Grrr. All aboard! Let's try fighting Bahamut. And then, I don't know. And then think what will come next. Ah, we were here just a moment ago. Look how much we've grown since then. Ah! Okay, now I need to heal us up again. Test yourselves in battle. We will. Now I was wondering, because I'm getting these summoning orbs from these, and I was like, what? I don't have summoner. What the? How am I supposed to use these? And well, turns out summoner is unlocked in the last fucking in the dungeon around the crystal tower. So yeah, there's that. Thank you for the hydrate. Wake. Oh my god. Why do you start with this? Just got here. Use... well, cure first. Because what if Bahamut uses freaking Mega Flare again? Immediately after this. Okay, protect. Ah! Exactly what I was worried about. Yuraha. Yuraha, everybody! No! We don't need healing now. We are done for. Ah. Would be funny if we got him again with just these two. What? Why did you attack? Didn't I... What? I thought you were supposed to use this. Heal spam. Uh-oh. Heal spam no more. I'm out of healing. Seriously? Well... I feel like this shouldn't be happening, but you know what? Whatever. At any rate, I'm gonna end here because I'm getting tired, and I think the one thing I have left is the circus tower and the maze of the ancient. So I'm just gonna do that next time, and which is tomorrow, funnily enough. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish all of that in one run. Who knows? We will see. But yeah, I'll be again back to tomorrow, and till then, stay safe. And I'm gonna be raiding Sajini, so please say hi. Sajini is playing Clair Obscure, so it should be fun. And I will see you again tomorrow, as I said. Good night.